This is Dani In Action, filming the What's Up Witch general reading for client T. So this reading will be a 9-card pull. We're going to start with the first 3 and work from there. So the first thing I'm going to pull for is just the general direction of this reading and message that client T needs to hear, where we need to go with this reading. It's too many. That was interesting. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it flipped and then it flipped back. So that might come out at another part in the reading. Okay. So we have the Hierophant or Hierophant. There we go. It's the best way to see the imagery there. And that's in reverse. And we have the King of Wands and the Moon in reverse. So I believe the Hierophant came up in the Freaked Out reading. I could be misremembering for client T. And we have the Moon in reverse, which I believe client T has seen recently in some readings as well. So those seem like some strong messages for client T, and these are both in reverse. So I think this reading is going to tap into the intuition, the seeing the self as a teacher, and I want to say the trusting in oneself as a teacher and taking actions toward that. Toward seeing oneself as intuitive, connected to the intuition, as well as stepping into a leadership role in a spiritual capacity. I almost wanted to say religious because the Hierophant can be seen as the priest card in some decks. I believe in this deck they call it the shaman card. And we have a lot of 3s in this card. We do have it in reverse, so I'm interested in how this is playing out in this person's life, in client's life. It might be that they're having a hard time seeing themselves as the spiritual figure and authority, and they might not be trusting themselves too much, and it seems like they might be taking a lot of action. Perhaps, I almost want to say they're taking a lot of action to put themselves in the position of the spiritual leader and of an intuitive person. I'm going to hold on to that for a second. They're taking a lot of action to put themselves in the position of the spiritual leader and the intuitive person, but I'm curious as to if they are struggling with that identity in themselves, if they really truly believe it. So that's what I want to pull for next, so we'll see. How we can, I want to say work on the, not work on, because the thing about the cards being in reverse is that we want to create an upright situation where things are in balance and in harmony. So what steps do we need to take to find balance and harmony with this Hierophant and Moon energy? Yes, that's where we're going with that. That felt right. Oh, okay. I got myself in check. I like regulated my breathing, and then they were like, yes, here we go. So I needed to get myself in check first because your reader's energy does influence your reading. So we have the Death card and the Empress card. You got a lot of major arcana, and your only minor arcana has been a king. So very strong messaging. It seems like Client T is really receiving a strong message right now. So the Death card is about letting go. We are still in Scorpio season, so it is a good time to do that. And we are on the eve of the full moon. You may not watch this until the actual full moon. So in that way, you're also divinely guided and astrologically supported. That's what I mean, more so than divinely guided, but astrologically supported to release. So a banishing ritual, a releasing ritual, I think would be good there. And we have the Empress card, which is, oh, let me show you this. So we have the Death card. This death is very colorful, and in the one hand where you see there's certain imagery about it that is black and white, it's also got all of these nuanced splashes of color. So that tells me that there is beauty in death. There is a lightness and a joy that will come from allowing something to die, letting something go. And it actually might be that a certain identity is being let go of in this case. And we have the Empress energy here. And this, I want to say, is about nurturing yourself. It might also be about nurturing others and taking on like a motherly role or finding someone to nurture yourself. Just in general, seeing nurture as a positive thing. And if you take a look at the way that the spread is, we have the King of Wands and the Empress was right underneath. So the King of Wands is all about go, 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 charm all the people, make everything happen. And they're very good at that. They can be very charming with that. But you also have the Empress right underneath that. So I want to highlight that juxtaposition of you can be very go, 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 but you also have this Empress energy that is going to highlight the nurturing aspect of life, that you can't be go, go, go all the time. You need some downtime. You need some self-love. You need to do activities that are going to not only push you forward in the material realm, but also that are going to feed that soul part of you. And if you also look, there are some animals. So I want to say like there's a certain natural part of you. So this could even be your physical body. Are you taking care of your physical body? Are you pushing it with the King of Wands, or are you nurturing it and feeding it the way that you should and caring for it the way that you should? For me, that my self is pushing in and being like, take a bath, take a milk bath, because those are like my favorite things to do, and really nourishing the skin. I'm feeling called to tell you to nourish your skin. And we also have the Nine of Wands in reverse. I kicked your Empress card out of the way. So this can be that you're very tired, and especially if you have the King of Wands, I would agree and understand that you are tired and you've been pushing yourself very hard, and now you feel like you need to defend everything that's yours. But the fact that it's in reverse, I'm seeing as it's like the cards are saying like, it's okay. You can chill. You can relax. You can nurture yourself. You can let this pressure, you're putting pressure on yourself. You can let this pressure go. The things that are behind you, they're still yours. Everything that you've worked for is not going to disappear if you rest. I have to just leave that there. So let's see what else. Okay, so I want to figure out what exactly I want to ask. Just generally, okay, what other messages need to come through? You got lots of messages, really, because... Okay, I wasn't sure, but then I saw this card and it was like, yeah. All right, so let me get one more, but you do have two more major arcana, so I'm super intrigued for you and how this is gonna go. So we have the High Priestess in reverse, and we have the Hanged Man, not in reverse. The Hanged Man is upright, and we also have the Ace of Swords. So High Priestess, about tuning in, trusting your intuition, seeing yourself as an intuitive. The Hanged Man, seeing things from another perspective. And the Ace of Swords. So these three together, I'm seeing as you're thinking of an idea. It's still internal. You're not ready to vocalize this or verbalize this to anyone else, but you have an idea that you might be a little in turmoil about, and maybe you have this idea already, or maybe it's going to come to you shortly and soon, but you might not see it as able to come into fruition right away, or you might feel like it's not for you. But the Hanged Man is telling me that it is for you. You might just have to flip the idea on its head a little bit, have a different perspective about it, and also being flexible with your own identity within this idea. And I want to say that this idea is going to have to do with you being intuitive with yourself. And this idea is probably going to come from your own intuition. And I feel like it has something to do with your role in the intuitive space, and that you are the High Priestess and the Hanged Man in this case, being that you are this person in authority with your intuition. However, it's still an idea phase, and it's something that you're mulling over in your mind. So it's very pulled away from the King of Wands. We are very farther down in your reading, and I'm seeing it as you needing to do some internal work. Not necessarily like you need to work on yourself, but take an introspective moment to understand within yourself where it is that you're going with this idea. Flip it around on its head a little bit. Remember that you can take a different perspective. You are not bound to one way of thinking. You are not bound to one way of being, one career path, anything like that. You can make this what you want it to be. You are in a very powerful position. And actually, because the Hanged Man is upside down, all of these heads are in reverse. So I'm seeing you very within, very grounded and coming down. And when I say down, I mean down within yourself, down within the bottom of your heart. I don't even see the root chakra per se. I'm seeing like the bottom of your heart, the bottom of the heart area. And it's like a deep knowing of yourself and of your purpose. And that's what I see coming through with this idea. But we're in the Ace of Swords, so it's still just an idea phase. This is no pressure into pushing anything through. It's quiet time. It's just muddling over the idea, turning it over in your head, feeling more comfortable with it. And this Empress card is actually your very center card. So I think that the nurturing of yourself is going to highlight, and it's going to help you with these wheels turning. But in order for you to move from this, what I see is almost like a self-doubt and a go, go, go personality, if you want to come down into this introspective area, you need to do this middle work, which is the Death card, the Empress, and the Nine of Wands, which is letting go, having faith in the universe a little bit. I see this as an evolution from one personality. It's not a personality, but more like a mindset. Like you've gone from this mindset here, and we're going to bring you down into this mindset where you're into your own head. And when I say we, I mean the cards, the messages. But you need to do this in the middle. The relaxing, letting go, having faith that things are going to fall into place where they are meant to be. You are not losing who you are and everything that you've worked for. I really want to highlight that. You are not going to lose yourself. You are not going to lose your knowledge. You are not losing your skill. You are not losing your talent. What you've worked for is yours. What you have worked for is already yours. It's like there's a saying, they can't take your education from you. There's certain things that people just can't take from you, and I think that's what you really need to know. It seems like you're go, go, go because you're worried that if you stop, somebody's going to take things from you. So know that that's not true, and that you need to nurture yourself and take care of yourself, and remind yourself that that's not true. Remind yourself that it's okay, and let go of that need to go, go, go. There may also be a woman in your life or a very nurturing energy around you that would be good to be around. So if somebody's being a little extra coddly, it might be in your nature to give them a side eye and tell them that you don't need it, but it's okay to accept it. I feel like that's where we need to end. So if you would like to talk about this further, if you would like some more readings or life coaching, always, you know where to find me. I will leave all of my contact information in the description box. I hope this reading has served you well. Please do send me feedback. I am open to and receive all feedback with grace.